This video is made under fair use and is for educational purposes. This is Kim Paddock. For anybody that doesn't know me, I have been studying natural healing and nutrition since 1976, and in 2016 I was extracting from the hemp plant and came up with the pure frequency of the plant, which it turns out heals many types of disease and pain. But I'm dedicating this video today to Pirate Studebaker, who has had Morgellons for over 20 years and has found little relief because of the confusion surrounding this problem. So let's see what she says about some of my products here first. I followed your instructions and took no more than 2 teaspoons a day, and that's Victory oil. And though I've been seriously sleepy, I haven't experienced a Herx reaction. Now, for those who don't know, a Herxheimer reaction happens when you kill too many parasites in your body at once, and they release their toxins into your bloodstream and can make you very sick. So she's not experiencing that. I'm very careful about what I do so that I try to keep such reactions to a minimum. And let's see what else she says. I felt the fatigue was likely due to my body wanting to sleep to heal, so I haven't struggled with it. When I wake, I feel better for several hours than I have had in many years. I hope the hours of feeling healthy increase as I keep going. Also in the past, when I removed Morgellons, it would be excruciatingly painful and make me sick, as if I'm releasing a toxin, which she is. Now with Victory oil, not only are the organisms weakening and dying as I pull them out, and not nearly as painful, they are no longer making me sick. Thanks for the recommendation. I will keep taking Victory oil and add holy oil to the mix. Also, Miracle Tincture Gel has really relieved the pain in my lower back where I broke it years ago and in other skeletal areas of the pain. I use it daily. Also, Spruce Frequency Cream is wonderful. It's helping with a variety of skin ailments. I love it. Thank you, Kim. God bless. Thank you, Pirate Studebaker. Now maybe we can shovel to the bottom of the bullshit and find out what's really going on with Morgellons. Let's find out what they say it is first. Medical description. Morgellons is a poorly understood, but the general medical consensus is that it is a form of delusional parasitosis in which individuals have some form of skin condition with sores that they believe contain fibers. Its presentation is very similar to delusional parasitosis, with the addition that some people with the condition believe they are inanimate objects in their skin lesions. An active online community supports the notion that it is an infectious disease, disputes that it is psychological, and proposes an association with Lyme disease, which there is, because they're all parasitic, by the way. Controversy has resulted. Publications, largely from a single group of investigators, describe findings of spirosheets, keratin and collagen in skin samples in small numbers of patients. These findings are contradicted by much larger studies conducted by the CDC, which found skin samples mostly contained cellulose that came from cotton, with no evidence of infection or other causes. Of course, because you can trust the government. Now let's look at the beginnings of Morgellon. In 2001, according to Lieto, her then 2-year-old son developed sores under his lip and began to complain of bugs. Lieto says she examined the sores with her son's toy microscope and discovered red, blue, black, and white fibers. She states that she took her son to see at least 8 different doctors who were unable to find any disease, allergy, or anything unusual about her son's described symptoms. Fred Heldrich, a Johns Hopkins pediatrician with a reputation for solving mystery cases, examined Lieto's son. Heldrick found nothing abnormal about the boy's skin and wrote to the referral physician that, quote, Lieto would benefit from a psychiatric evaluation and support, end quote, and registered his worry about Lieto's use of her son. Lieto last consulted an unnamed Johns Hopkins infectious disease specialist who refused to see her son after reviewing his records and suggested Lieto herself might have Munchausen's by proxy, a psychiatric syndrome in which a parent pretends a child is sick or makes him sick to get attention from the medical system. According to Lieto, several medical professions she sought out shared this opinion of a potential psychiatric disorder. So now you're just imagining all of this, by the way, thanks to the, experts in the field. Oh my goodness. Lieto said she long ago grew accustomed to being doubted by doctors whenever she sought help for her son, who is now 7 and still suffering from recurring lesions. The suggestion that maybe I was neurotic, Lieto said, and said they were not interested in seeing him because I have Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So, if the doctors don't realize that it's a parasitic infection, you're insane. And they're taught by who? The Rothschild School of Bullshittery. And this discusses Morgellons disease, a filamentous borrelial dermatitis. Morgellons disease is a dermopathy characterized by multicolored filaments that lie under, are embedded in, or project from the skin. Although MD was initially considered to be a delusional disorder, recent studies have demonstrated that the dermopathy is associated with tick-borne infection, that the filaments are composed of keratin and collagen, and that they result from proliferation of keratinocytes and fibroblasts in epithelial tissue. Culture, histopathological, and molecular evidence of spirochetal infection associated with MD has been presented in several published studies using a variety of techniques. Spirochetes, genetically identified as Borrelia burgdorferi sensu stricto, predominate as the infectious agent in most of the Morgellons skin specimens studied so far. Other species of Borrelia, including Borrelia garinini, Borrelia myotomodi, and Borrelia hermesii, have also been detected in skin specimens from MD patients. The optimal treatment for MD remains to be determined. So now they're saying it's a borrelial dermatitis. Well, spirochetes are parasites, by the way. We'll show one in a minute. A diagnosis is difficult because the symptoms look like those associated with many other types of infections, and sometimes symptoms don't appear for years. Victims have an itchy rash and open sores along with inflammation and pain. These symptoms can progress to fever, body aches, and headaches. Dying worms and bacteria can also cause secondary skin infections. So they're admitting that dying worms? Dying worms? Oh, dying worms are parasites, people. There may be changes in skin color, or the worms can be seen crawling under the skin or the eye. The only way to diagnose for certain is to look at the microvilli in the blood, which has to be drawn at night when the worms are most active. Ironically, that's when parasites are most active. So these worms are parasites. According to the World Health Organization, filariasis is a potentially eradicable disease. To treat it, patients must take a drug called ivermectin to kill the mycofilaria. So let's look at ivermectin. Let's see what they're trying to tell you about ivermectin here. Oh my goodness. Where's my ivermectin page? Here it is. Let me get to the ivermectin. So let's look at ivermectin. Product name ivermectin. Recommended use, uses advised against laboratory chemicals, food, drug, pesticide, or biocidal product use. Hazard identification. This chemical is considered hazardous by the 2012 OSHA Hazard Communication Standard. Acute oral toxicity is Category 1. And a Category 1, by the way, is just plain deadly. It's poison. Serious eye damage and eye irritation, Category 2. Reproductive toxicity, Category 1A. So, in other words, one dose of ivermectin can make you sterile. Signal word is danger. Hazard statements. Fatal if swallowed. Causes serious eye irritation. May damage fertility or the unborn child. This is what they recommend that you take. Of course, they have to put this proof in front of your face somewhere because it's a karma thing. They have to show you what they're going to do to you or what they are doing to you, and if you don't see it, you're fair game. So let's look into ivermectin here some more. Precautionary statements. Look at that, skull and crossbones. Obtain special instructions before use. Oh, Lordy. Your doctors are recommending this? Are they recommending ivermectin to kill parasites? Oh my goodness. So they go through firefighting measures, accidental handling, exposure, chemical properties, toxicological information. This is 8 pages. So we'll close out of this. And, you know, you can always trust your doctor. And here's a statement from somebody else that has Morgellons. I'm always seeing these things like thread on just about anything and everything all throughout my house, and some seem to be colored, writes Brian in his submission regarding the thin worm-like organism pictured below. I was given this microscope for my birthday. As curious as I am, I'm always looking through it. Can't say through it because, as you can see, it's a screen. And I think the instructions say it magnetizes between 50 to 1,000 times. I mean, it can bring a piece of lint from the dryer to about the size you see here. Now that I see that they are all over my house, so I'm curious about what they are. Seeing your webpage got me thinking about worms now. So I'm wondering, is it possible that you can tell me what this might be? Thank you. And this is what he photographed. These are called thread worms or string worms. And they're all over his house. So if you get near somebody like this, you have a good chance of becoming infected with them too. And here's from the imagination of the people that have Morgellons. They're imagining all of this. Lesions of the hand of a Morgellons disease patient. And they're imagining this. These fibers, which are parasites. And they're imagining these fibers, which are parasites. And here's another parasite. It's not just thread or string parasites. By the time the symptoms of Morgellons shows up, these people are loaded with parasites, and more than just one kind. And here's some more of these thread or string parasites. They're just imagining all this, though. This specimen was taken from a nasal cavity. Note the worm-like shape with feelers or claws and the dragon-like head. It's a parasite. And here's some more from the imagination of a Morgellons patient. Yep, those are those string and thread-like parasites. There's a whole cocoon of them. And there's some more of them. And this is from Living with Morgellons that's on YouTube, if you'd like to see the video. And here are actual organisms taken from Morgellons patients. And you'll notice that these parasites surround themselves with a slime. And this slime attracts heavy metals, molds, and funguses that protect these parasites from your immune system. So a lot of people mistake these conditions for being molds or funguses, when it's actually a parasite that's under the molds and funguses that they surround themselves with. So keep that in mind. If somebody says that it's caused by molds or funguses, they're almost there. These fibers can have various colors, blue, white, black, or red, and are often described as being like threads or hair-like materials. Yes, string parasites. And there's another group. And this is from a video on YouTube, which shows all of these thread and string parasites on somebody's skin. Here's another one. Fiber color differences are probably related to different minerals or metals absorbed by the fungus. See, they think it's a fungus, but the thing is surrounded by fungus and mold and heavy metals. The red color is sometimes even related to absorbed blood. But it's parasites. Okay. People with Morgellons often describe feeling like they have bugs or parasites moving beneath their skin, because they do have them. And here's some of the types of parasites that you can have in your body. Roundworms, hookworms, flukes, tapeworms, nematodes of various types. What type of parasites can humans be infected with? Here are just a few of the common ones. Roundworms, pinworms, hookworms, tapeworm, flatworms, known as flukes, Giardia lambelia, and Entamoeba histolycia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but there they are. Toxoplasma gondii. Can I see these parasites? There are two basic types. Microscopic, so you would need to see them under the microscope. These microscopic parasites travel through your bloodstream like bacteria or a virus. They reproduce by dividing themselves much like bacteria do, but just because you can't see them doesn't mean they can't harm you. Now, I don't believe in viruses. I don't think bacteria are real. I think they're all parasites. They just put them under different names to confuse people. The term virus replaced the term parasite in medical literature in the early 1980s. So doctors are kept from the truth as well. The other types of parasites are large enough to see. These parasites in an immature form can travel through your blood stream and infect any organ, gland, or part of the body. Depending on the type, once they mature, they can grow anywhere from several inches up to many feet in length. They can lay thousands up to millions of eggs a day. So if you're in not good shape, not eating well, your physical body frequency is too low, these parasites will thrive. It's high frequencies that kills them. That's what's in my products. People that have parasites and go on an anti-parasite program will be able to see them once they have been expelled from the body. Sometimes they are obvious. However, you may have to examine your stool, as often they are buried within the fecal material that you pass. And people have reported that after taking my products too. How parasites affect your health. Parasites can have a wide range of effects on your health depending on the type and severity of the infection. Here are some common ways in which parasites can impact your well-being. Digestive issues. Parasites often target the digestive system, leading to symptoms such as diarrhea, constipation, gas, and bloating. Chronic infections that can cause more severe issues like malabsorption of nutrients, leading to weight loss and nutrient deficiency. Fatigue and weakness. Parasites can deplete your body of essential nutrients, leading to chronic fatigue and weakness. The immune response to parasitic infection can also drain your energy. Immune system suppression. Long-term parasitic infections can weaken the immune system, making you more susceptible to other infections and diseases. Skin problems. Ectoparasites such as lice and scabies can cause itching, redness, and skin infections. Some internal parasites can also lead to skin rashes and allergic reactions. Neurological symptoms. In rare cases, parasites can affect the nervous system, leading to symptoms such as headaches, seizures, and cognitive impairment. Well, those aren't rare cases. Those are very common now. Let's look at skin parasites, since that's one of the biggest issues with Morgellons. Filarial worms. There are several different species of parasitic worms that become a problem when ingested, but worms that burrow in your skin are a rarer breed. Not anymore. These include a few types of tiny thread-like filarial worms, which can infect the body cavities, lymph systems, eyes, or the fat layer just under your skin's surface. The latter two types cause an infectious disease called subcutaneous filariasis. These worms include the Loa Loa African eyeworm, Onocari volvulus, and the guinea worm. They are found mostly along bodies of water in tropical areas of Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia. You can catch subcutaneous filariasis if you're bitten by a mosquito or fly infected with the larvae. The filarial worm completes its entire life cycle in the human host. Once the larvae are injected by an infected bug, they grow into adult worms and reproduce, creating mycofilariae. These juvenile worms' location just under the skin makes them ripe for being ingested by feeding mosquitoes, and the cycle begins anew. People infected with filarial worms may have them for years, and adult worms can live for more than a decade. If the infection is to the eye, it's called onychorosis, or river blindness. This is the second leading infectious cause of blindness in the world. So as you can see, these parasites are horrible. And they also point to spiral-shaped bacteria. The spirochete is a type of spiral-shaped bacteria belonging to the phylum Spirochetota. These bacteria are characterized by their elongated, helically coiled morphology and can be pathogenic, causing diseases such as syphilis, Lyme disease, and relapsing fever. Notable genre of spirochetes include Treponema, Borrelia, and Leptospira. They can exist as free-living organisms, symbionts, or parasites. They just admitted it's parasites. So bacteria are parasites. They're not very good liars. Here's a spirochete parasite. And then we need to look at rainwater, because as I have been saying, these parasites are being literally rained down on us through chemtrails. Rainwater contains parasites, and they admit it here, harmful bacteria, which is parasites, and viruses, which are parasites. It is not recommended to collect and drink rainwater due to these risks, but it can be used for other purposes such as watering plants. So how do parasites live up in the sky, in the air, in the rainwater, if they need organisms to survive and live off of, such as humans? Oh, that would be chemtrails. They also put in chemtrails what? According to Richie from Boston, barium, strontium, aluminum, and other toxic heavy metals, which, like I said, these parasites surround themselves with these toxic heavy metals to protect them from your body. So That's one reason they're putting them in there. There's other reasons. But they're feeding the parasites. They're keeping them nice and healthy so that when they get in your body, they have everything they need to survive. And then we'll look at this. We incubated the chemtrails fallout samples and something came to life. And this is from Brighteon.com. And those look familiar. And he shows eggs hatching into these filarial parasites. And that would be Mike Adams, which you can trust maybe part of the time, because you got to look at who they're friends with. Yeah, they're going to put the truth out there, but he never calls this a parasite. He just says it's a mystery to him. And I'm not the only one that says Morgellons comes from chemtrails. Clifford Carnicon, chemtrails, aerosols, and Morgellons. But I don't think he actually put together the fact that it's being caused by parasites. And parasite eggs being put down on us by the chemtrails. Chemtrails started really happening in 1997, and Morgellons became a thing in 2002. So if these parasites have been rained down on us for years, and it takes years for them to actually show themselves because they have now populated your body, the timeline works. Also, they always like to put it in your face. You know, it's that karma thing. If they put it in your face and you still don't see it, then you're fair game. So, the Morgellons patent is entitled Polynucleotide Encoding Insect Ectozyme Receptor, US 6245531B1. They admit it's an insect. Yeah, of course it's an insect. It's a parasite. And they think that they can patent it. They're insane. And they also like to put it in your face in things like these game cards. Here's Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's look at this one close up. Oh, that looks like a skin parasite. No. Parasite cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you want to see more of them, there's tons of them. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Game has parasite card after parasite card after parasite card. And you can look at all of this, and it's real. Here's some more. Hidden parasite, parasite maneuver. Look at all this. Parasite, parasite times 3. They put it in your face. They put it in your face every time, exactly what they're doing. So are you going to believe your doctor now? Are you insane? You just making this stuff up? I made lots of videos about parasites, and I explained a lot of content about them. So let's take a look at some of the videos I've made on parasites. And this is under Kim Paddock, one word. And I'll link you to at least one of these so that you can go to my Rumble and subscribe. Then you can watch all these videos. Parasites versus poisons in your body. Parasites, proteins, prions, gain of function causes deadly diseases. And that's a picture of a heart that's full of Trypanosoma cruzi, which is a parasite whose eggs were found in every vaccine of the COVID variety. And I believe it's in every vaccine. They have loaded every vaccine with deadly parasite eggs. And we'll talk about what kills it. Trypanosoma cruzi, for one, is killed by CBD in the hemp plant, which is why they want to make it illegal again. Because they don't want you catching on to all this and finding out how much you can do to help yourself. And I did a video on the Victory Oil, which the lady I was speaking of took. Detox and kills parasites. Proof of the link between parasites and chemtrails. That's the one I'll probably post with this video. The biblical link between parasites and demons. The ancient Chinese agree. Of course you're going to call them demons. They possess your body. They control your appetite, even your sexuality. Anything to get them to reproduce and contaminate another human being. All diseases caused by parasites, prions, funguses, and poisons? Question mark. Holy oil for sleep, pain, diabetes, weight loss, and kills parasites. The demonic parasite presentation, biblical links. Cancer deception, deeper dive, low frequencies and microparasites cause cancers. That's a good one. Nanotechnology in people, how to interrupt and remove this technology. Keratosis is a skin condition caused by parasites. Microparasites cause cancer, Dr. Nixon, live blood analysis. Cancer deception, the most toxic medications on earth. Chemtrails and the deadly cargoes that cause disease, which are parasites and heavy metals and funguses and molds. So let's look at a threadworm. Here's a video I found on a threadworm, so you can see what these are like. And that's on a piece of tissue. And they say these are from freshwater fish, but obviously they'll infect anything they can. That's what parasites do. And that's a red one, of course. But I thought you'd be interested to see an actual video of one of these thread or string parasites in action here. They're nasty. Now we'll get to what you can do about this. And this is my website, miracleproducts.com. And down the first page, you'll find some of my products here. I have quite a few. This is the Victory Oil that Studebaker was taking for her Morgellons. So we'll click on that real fast so I can read to you what it does. Victory Oil helps prevent and heal serious diseases and pain, is an immune system builder, a heavy metal detox agent, prevents radiation poisoning, absorbs radiation, removes toxins, puts oxygen in the blood, helps create new red blood cells, and kills parasites that cause cancer and many diseases. And there's a link right there on my site that talks about Victory Oil. Victory Oil can heal and prevent serious diseases such as cancer. Cancer occurs when the body's frequency drops to the lowest level prior to death. These low frequency areas are where microparasites invade the cells and breed inside of them. When the parasites burst the cell on their way out to invade other cells, the sticky mess left behind becomes a tumor. Scientists have known about these microparasites that cause cancer since 1972. When the scientists placed a sample of cancer on a slide and heated it over a flame to 158 degrees, it killed everything except the parasites. So what kills disease-causing parasites? High frequency. It is important to raise the body's frequency as quickly as possible in order to destroy the cancer and disease-causing microparasites and parasites in and around the cells and raise the body's frequency to a level at which parasites cannot live. Victory oil contains a high-frequency extract of the hemp plant. Other diseases that may be caused by microparasites include arthritis, COPD, neuropathy, mental disorders, and a wide variety of diseases that are under the HIV/AIDS category. My research finds that nearly every disease is caused by too low of a physical frequency in the body and parasites. Other diseases are caused by poisons and toxins, which Victory oil can detox from the body as well. Victory oil contains vital nutrients and is made from cold-pressed almond oil, a high-frequency hemp extract, 20% CBD hemp buds, no THC, chaga, kelp, chlorella, French green clay, calcium bentonite clay, ginger, glycerol monostearate, organic sulfur, kelp, chlorella, diatoms, spearmint oil, and sunflower lecithin. Almond oil contains natural vitamins A, B, D, and E, not the fake ones they put in vitamins in the store, so be careful. Magnesium, calcium, potassium, and 3 types of essential fatty acids that help lower high blood pressure and blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, helps with heart disease, obesity, and prevents free radicals from damaging cells. And then I say, of course, note, do not take commercial vitamins. They are chemical toxins. CBD hemp bud contains CBD, which kills parasites that cause cancer, myocarditis, and many other diseases, heals broken bones and increases bone density, helps with epilepsy, pain, arthritis, anxiety, depression, acne, Parkinson's disease, inflammation, heart disease, cardiovascular, reproductive health, alleviates pain and inflammation, and more. Kelp contains monosodium iodide, which protects cells from radiation, helps the thyroid, maintains pH balance, increases bone density, combats diabetes and blood disorders, helps with weight loss, inflammation, and kills deadly parasites that cause cancer. Chaga reduces cancer cell growth and inflammation, controls infections, supports memory, focus, immune system, and energy, and reduces anxiety as well. Sunflower lecithin emulsifies and lowers the level of bad fats, which boosts heart health, protects the brain by healing neural cells, improves the liver, balances blood pressure, lowers risk of heart attacks and strokes, improves liver function, normalizes blood pressure, and can even help you grow your hair back if it is falling out. Glycerol monostearate is added to thicken the oil and keep all of the elements in suspension. This ingredient also hydrates the body, lowers the heart rate, increases the amount of red blood cells, and is used by athletes for endurance. French green clay is used to take poisons from your body, delivers essential minerals, and balances your natural equilibrium. It is also used to remove radiation from your body and prevent radiation poisoning, fights infections, anemia, aging, candida, and treats food poisoning. Contains vital minerals such as magnesium, calcium, potassium, manganese, phosphorus, zinc, selenium, and cobalt. Calcium bentonite clay absorbs toxins, detoxifies the gut, pulls heavy metals from the body, is good for weight loss, constipation, and diarrhea, aids in digestion, helps with thyroid function, aids in the health of teeth and gums, and removes fluoride. Organic sulfur helps with autism, kills deadly parasites that cause cancer and numerous diseases, builds and repairs damaged DNA, helps with osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease, regulates insulin production, helps with chronic headaches and emphysema, removes toxins and poisons from the liver, removes parasites and their eggs from the colon, regulates insulin production, helps with kidney function and eye problems, and prevents blood clots. Victory oil is an overall heavy metal detox when used along with a source of fiber. Fiber is vital in order to remove the heavy metals from the body, so please add fiber to your diet. Be aware that parasites in your body surround themselves with toxic heavy metals, molds, fungus, and yeast to protect them from your immune system. And then I caution about killing them too quickly. Illnesses like low-functioning autism in children are caused in part by the heavy metals and poisons in vaccines. And these toxins and poisons are also found in food, toothpaste, deodorants, and so on. Low-functioning autism has gone up 180% since the year 2000 and continues to rise. Non-vaccinated children have virtually no autism. These vaccines contain large amounts of mercury and aluminum that cause brain damage and other serious conditions. Heavy metal detox will take some time, so be vigilant. So as you can see, after studying nutrition and health since 1976, I put everything I had into the Victory Oil to help people with all sorts of diseases and pain. And it's working. So please support my products, support my research, and get yourself well at the same time. There are testimonials in here from many, many people that have tried my products, and you can read them. You can see the results here in the testimonial section as well. And if you scroll down the first page, the opening page, you'll find out even more. So I hope this helps you with your Morgellons and your many other problems and diseases that are caused by the medical industrial complex. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. And research is more needed, and research some more. Watch some more of my videos. God bless you. Thank you so much.